Becoming a magician takes thousands of hours. Right, Ashley?
Oh, I'm not a magician. I'm a design specialist at the Container Store.
But you transform closets and pantries.
Well, I turn your most frustrating spaces into ones you love.
With a magic wand?
With Alpha, our customizable, adjustable, and affordable shelving and drawer system.
The amazing Ashley! Making daily frustration disappear.
Just doing my job.
Transform your space with Alpha and save 20% on purchases over $500. Get started with your free design at the Container Store today.
What up, what up, what up? And welcome to another edition of DFS Today. This is your Sunday, January 2nd. Happy New Year edition of the show. We have a nice 7 games, 2 slates, 1 showdown, and a 6-game main slate here for you. It's going to be a good one, and I'm going to run it through you. I am your host, Santino Cohen. You know what? What better way to start or get right in and then getting right into it? The first game on the docket, which is the showdown slate, the New York Knicks taking on the Toronto Raptors. We have on the injury report, it's an extensive one. Everybody on the Knicks is going there. We don't have any of the spreads at the moment. For the injury report, we have Daniel House, Nerlens Noel, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Derrick Rose, Simonik, Selden, Sims, Kemba, all out for the Knicks, and Evan Fournier as questionable. On the Raptors, complete opposite. Everybody's coming back from the health and safety protocols. We just have Goran Dragic and David Johnson out. Scotty Barnes is probable, should be good to go in this one. This is fairly simple. Break down the whole game instead of going side by side. I'm going to be spending up for Toronto players. I'm going to be getting my value for the Knicks. I want my captain from Toronto. I really love Pascal Siakam's been a stud since he's come back. Played 82 minutes in those 2 games. I don't expect as many assists now that Fred VanVleet will be his 2nd game under the belt. And we have Scotty Barnes coming back here. So slightly less assists, but he's still been awesome. In a showdown slate, I would love to get him in my lineup. I would love to get him and VanVleet in my lineup. And I think you can when you go to the Knicks side of the ball. But OG, Gary Trent would be the other options that I'm looking at on this side of the ball. Everybody else, not at the moment. But on the Knicks, you don't have the entire front court. So Taj Gibson, Obi Toppin are in line for a ton of minutes. You don't have the starting point guards. Rose, Walker, both out. We know Evan Fournier is questionable. I do like RJ Barrett. That would be the only guy I'm just going to spend up on this side of the ball. But I won't put him in my captain spot. I will put someone on the Raptors, one of those 4. But quickly, Grimes, one of them might get the start with Fournier out. And even if not, there's a bunch of extra minutes there going around for him. And then you have Taj Gibson, Obi Toppin. We already know that they're going to be playing a ton of minutes. Miles McBride. He has been getting a decent chunk of minutes, and he's been getting some starts lately either. Or also, without Kemba, we could possibly be seeing that again, especially without Fournier. Those 3 guys, quickly, Grimes and McBride, are great value here. Right, and that does it that game. I think we got RJ Barrett in the value, and then I'm spending up on Toronto. All right, let's jump on over to the main slate. First game on the docket in the main slate, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the Orlando Magic taking on the Boston Celtics in Boston. For an injury report here, we have for the Celtics, Robert Williams, Jason Tatum, both questionable. Enes Freedom, out. Dennis Schroeder is back. On the Magic side of the ball, we have Jalen Suggs, Chuma Okeke, Etuan Moore, Robin Lopez, Jonathan Isaac, Hassani, Gravett, Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, Cole Anthony, all out. Then we have Mo Bamba and Miles Mulder as questionable. Start with the Magic. A lot of people out here. We know this. With that said, Carter, Wagner, doing the heavy lifting. They are showing it in that price tag though. In this particular matchup, I'm not going to go there. I do like Gary Harris. I do like Terrence Ross. That is back. I think both those price tags are fair. $5,200 for Gary Harris. He's been hitting that, so he's a very safe cash guy here. Get your money back if you're around that price range. Terrence Ross just coming back. We'll see how he fits in, but there are minutes and shots available for him, so 4,900. He was playing great before he went out on health and safety protocols. Don't mind taking another shot there. That's pretty much it for now. I think Tim Frazier, Mulder, if he's back, RJ Hampton are all going to split the point guard / shooting guard with Terrence Ross as well, and Gary Harris. So I don't really want to go there. All right, jumping on over to the Boston side of the ball. If Robert Williams is out, I really like Al Horford. Grant Williams drew the start in the last one against in the last one for Tatum anyway. Would have an even more role here if Robert Williams is out. Al Horford's going to slide over the 5, where Grant Williams will start at the 4. Then there's something else to go around on the wings there. But I do like Grant Williams. I do like Al Horford. We'll see what Robert Williams' status is like. If he does play, I don't really want Grant Williams for that, even if he gets a start for Tatum still. And then Al Horford, I would prefer Rob Williams with the way he's playing right now anyway. I don't mind looking in the backcourt, but I would just throw Jalen Brown. Now that Schroeder's back, it still throws in a wrinkle. I think Marcus Smart wears off a little bit at his price tag, but Jalen Brown in this matchup going against a bunch of backups and they still need winning, I don't mind it here. 9,300. He hasn't exceeded that, but this could be that game. All right, next game of the night. We have the Indiana Pacers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the injury report, we have for the Cavs, Darius Garland, Cedi Osman, Ricky Rubio, Colin Sexton all out. Dylan Windler as questionable. The Pacers have Brogdon, Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, Jeremy Lamb, Keelan Martin, TJ Warren, TJ McConnell all out. Go over to Indy at first. Karis LeVert is pretty much been what Jaylen Brown is. Similar price tag. He's been more consistent, a little higher lately, but they're both very similar in this one. I think Jaylen Brown for the less ownership, higher upside against the team that he's facing. That's where I would lean. Even with Cleveland getting a little bit healthier, the matchup gets tougher, even with LeVert getting so much usage here. That said, I don't know if I want to go Sabonis either. Probably not going to have too much exposure to many of these guys, though I think Sabonis, LeVert are safer for cash than they are for tournaments. I think the upside against the Cleveland defense isn't the greatest, but I think they're fairly safe for their price tag. I don't mind going there and getting my 45 points or so from these guys. Can I get 50, 60? That's where I think I don't really want to go there, but everybody else, I'm going to leave it alone at the moment as well. On the other side of the ball, Kevin Love has been playing great, but 8,000 just about can't go that. Now that the front court is healthy, going to let it stay. Their price tags are all a little bit inflated for me. I do like Evan Mobley's price tag. I do like Evan Mobley in this matchup, but the price tag is just out of my reach for the most part. I'll have him in a couple lineups, but 7.5. If it was more 7.1, I would very much be on it. Outside of that, not too much I'm looking at on the Cavs side. Brandon Goodwin, Kevin Pangos, that point guard battle is intriguing to me, both under 4K, one at 3.5, one at 3.7. A lot of minutes to go around right now. There's just no other point guards on the roster besides these two guys. Goodwin had the advantage in that last one, played pretty well, 13, 4, and 6. He has produced in the past, and he's also let us down. So not the safest, but a nice option to take if you want to just go a pump play. Kevin Pangos as well. Haven't played great these two starts, just 24 minutes each. Hasn't done too much, but he could shoot. And if he can knock down a couple in a game, yeah, so I don't mind taking him, though I would feel more comfortable with Goodwin of the two. All right, jumping on over to the next game of the night, the last one at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the Miami Heat taking on the Sacramento Kings. On the injury report, we have Bam, Dedmon, Marcus Garrett, Haslam, Markieff Morris, Akpala, Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, Max Struss, PJ Tucker, Gabe Vincent, all out for the Heat. The Kings just have Rashawn Holmes out and Terrence Davis questionable.
Becoming a magician takes thousands of hours, right, Ashley?
Oh, I'm not a magician. I'm a design specialist at the Container Store.
But you transform closets and pantries.
Well, I turn your most frustrating spaces into ones you love.
With a magic wand?
With Alpha, our customizable, adjustable, and affordable shelving and drawer system.
The amazing Ashley! Making daily frustration disappear.
Just doing my job.
Transform your space with Alpha and save 20% on purchases over $500. Get started with your free design at the Container Store today.
All right, another long list. We'll see if things change, but on the Heat side of the ball, Jimmy Butler for 10K. The guy's just going to continue to be the main part of the offense. Now that Kyle Lowry is back, maybe takes a little burden off him. He doesn't have to take all the shots. We know Tyler Hero is there as well. They're pretty much going to take the majority of the shots, but I don't mind spending up for Butler. I think Lowry and Hero are slightly where they should be, so that's not a bad price tag. If you want to take the discount for Hero instead of Butler, I don't mind that in this matchup against the Kings. Yurtsevin, 6,500. He's just continually churning out value right here. 3 straight games of over 36 fantasy points. Yeah, I can take him again. Guy's just rebounding a lot and pitching in double-digit points. Fantastic. Caleb Martin's got to play a ton of minutes here. Kyle Guy played a ton last game. Don't mind looking at these guys again. Very up-tempo matchup against the Kings, who are middle of the pack to the back of the pack in defensive metrics. So I don't mind taking a shot at those guys as well. There are a ton of minutes available. On the other side of the ball, we have the Kings, and it's almost the opposite. Outside of potentially Terrence Davis, who's questionable for this one, 3,400. I would like to play him. The Heat don't have front court depth right now, so they're probably going to go small at a lot of spurts here. The Kings like to go small, so Davion Mitchell, Terrence Davis, 35 and 3,400 would make a lot of sense for some pump plays in particular lineups here. But we'll see if Terrence Davis doesn't play. If he doesn't, or if he does, and then both of them are in play. If he doesn't, Davion Mitchell gets a big bump there. So does Buddy Hield, but I don't really want to pay 6 for Buddy Hield. And then we see who starts in the front court. Do they start Bagley at center and throw Hield in there? Do they start Damian Jones, who's been playing over Tristan Thompson, over Alex Len when he was out? That's something to keep an eye on. Damian Jones, if you got to start at 3K, going to be in a lot of lineups, and I sure do like him as well. Alex Len, if he's going to start like he did before at 3,200, might be worth taking a shot at. But they can always play Bagley and start Meta. We could see a smaller front court, knowing that the Heat front court is just decimated. So that's what I'm paying attention to. I'm going to be looking at those Mitchell and Davis, and then looking at who starts and how the starting rotation front court is shaked out before pregame. All right, jumping on over to the next game of the night, we have at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Phoenix Suns taking on the Charlotte Hornets. On the injury report, we have for the Suns, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, Frank Kaminsky, JaVale McGee, Abdul Nader, Dario Saric, all out. Chandler Hutchinson as questionable. For the Hornets, we have Vernon Carey and Scotty Lewis out. PJ Washington, Miles Bridges as questionable. All right. Going to Phoenix. Devin Booker, only 8.5. Chris Paul, only 7.4. Only 7.4. Very, very cheapish price tags. Devin Booker is still worth taking. This is going to be a fast-paced matchup. That's how the Hornets like to play. They love to play fast. So both those guys, really good price tags here in this particular matchup. Cam Johnson's going to get some extra burn again in this one. 5,400. Pretty safe-ish. Jalen Smith, I like him. I prefer him over Cam Johnson, but the upside's there for him. He played mid to high 20s in the last 3 games starting. The entire front court is hit big right now, so the kid's got to play a lot. And the Hornets don't always play big. They play Miles Plumlee. They play PJ Washington. They play other versatile guys, Jalen McDaniels, other versatile guys at center. So this could be pretty good for him. And we could see a lot of Bridges at center and Cam Johnson, Paul, and Booker lineup, smaller lineup. So I like that. But Jalen Smith. And then speaking of that campaign, 4-4 with smaller lineups, we know he's usually the first guy off the bench. This one I don't mind looking at. These guys played each other not too long ago. Bridges might be going against his brother again. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, I really like Jalen Smith in this one. I like the backcourt, including campaign. All right, jumping on over to the Hornets side of the ball. LaMelo is 9,500. Probably won't go in this particular matchup, but the forward position is going to be intriguing. Hayward, Rozier, Oubre, probably starting all three of them. We got to see what happens with Bridges in Washington, but all three of those guys get a nice boost. They're all in the 6K, the 6K range there. I do probably avoid them all in Phoenix, but we'll see exactly what happens with Miles Plumlee and PJ Washington as well. Jaden McDaniels. PJ Washington is out. McDaniels and Plumlee get extra run here. And then if Bridges is out, helps them out as well. McDaniels will be playing both forward positions. I'm usually in this matchup, I'm just going to be looking for more value against Suns. The Plumlee, the Oubre, and the McDaniels, assuming that one or both of Bridges and PJ Washington are out. All right, jumping on over to the next game. And before I do, though, I do want to give a shout out to our guys. Did you know that we have a new daily fantasy partner at Sports Ethos? Thrive Fantasy. Prop up with Thrive Fantasy on their mobile app or at thrivefantasy.com. Use code ETHOS when you sign up to get a 100% deposit match bonus on your first deposit up to $100, plus either 2 or 4 free game tickets to play. Pick player props on the biggest names playing every night. Score points when your props hit, and the players with the most points win a share of the nightly prize money. So go check that out. Again, that's Thrive Fantasy or thrivefantasy.com. Put in the code ETHOS. You will not be disappointed. It is a fun time there. All right, now we're jumping on over to the 7 o'clock game. We have Dallas taking on OKC Thunder. On the injury report, we have Trey Burke, Willie Cauley-Stein, Brendan Knight, Boban, all out. Porzingis, doubtful. Frank the Tank Ntilikina, questionable. And then on the Thunder, we have Baisley, Shai, and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. And Trey Mann, all out. We'll start with the Mavs in this one. And the return of Luka. He's not even on the injury report. We'll see if he's conditioned. I know he was dealing with an injury pre-COVID, pre-health and safety protocol. So we'll see how he goes there. At 10-8, he's going to be in a good matchup, but I'm not going to go to him too much. We have a depressed price tag for him, but he hasn't played in a while. He hasn't played since December 10th. So we'll see how he's looking pre-game before I can throw him in there. Maybe in some tournaments, if you think people are wary about him in this game. But not so much cash. I know Porzingis is doubtful, so that's a big one there for him, but still his first game back, so tread carefully. That said, Maxi Kleber, 3,700. He should be back for this one as well. First game back in a little bit. But with Porzingis out, 3,700, he should draw the start. Really good, solid chance or opportunity to take a chance on him. We have Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith been taking on a bigger role, Jalen Brunson. These guys are going to get extra usage without Kristaps Porzingis here. But Luka's back, so that'll swallow a lot of it. Probably just going to leave most of the guys alone. Play Kleber. See what they say about Luka before I put him in, but going to not really attack Dallas on this slate right now. On the other side of the ball, though, Shai is out. Josh Giddey comes back. Really good timing for Giddey. He is 7,600, though. First game back. There's not going to be a Shai, so can't look there. But Aaron Wiggins at 4-1. I'm going to still continue to attack him. I think he's been bringing back value, regardless of who's in the lineup. Now that Shai's out, even with Giddey back, Shai's more of a scorer, so going to be extra shots for Aaron Wiggins here. 4,100. I like taking a chance on that. Isaiah Roby's been drawing the starts, only 3,800. We continue to go to him again. He hasn't hit 20 plus minutes in that since that in his last 2 games, and the most in the last 3 he's played is 22. But he's still a really solid permanent guy. So if he can get to 25, which I think he might have to in this matchup, Dallas plays a little bit bigger, and if he can get to that under 4K, I think he'll bring back value. But it's more of a pump play tournament type option to just see, because it is a tough call. He's not been playing a lot. But that's pretty much it. I really like Aaron Wiggins. Everybody else going to leave alone. Going on to the next game, the last game of the night, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Los Angeles Lakers at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the Lakers, we have Anthony Davis, Jay Huff, Mason Jones, Kendrick Nunn, all out. The Timberwolves, they have D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns out. Then Vanderbilt, Taurean Prince, Anthony Edwards, McKinley Wright, the fourth, all questionable, return to conditioning. Most of those guys, they all played. 3 of those guys played. And the 3 that are, Taurean Prince isn't really relevant. The 2 that are relevant played, and the other guys played as well, we'll say. In the last one, Edwards mentioned that he didn't feel in shape in the last one. Now he's questionable after playing. So that is obviously huge news to keep an eye on. If he plays, he's going to be playing 30 minutes, even if he doesn't feel like he's in shape enough to do it. I won't play him, but that does take up some shots and usage from guys like Beasley and Beverly, McDaniels. If he doesn't play, all 3 of those guys are really solid. Vanderbilt might not play either. And if Edwards does play, that's less wing minutes that McDaniels will see. But we saw him get the start at the small forward position, so they don't mind playing him at either. But if he does play, he'll play more leap, backup 5, and let everybody else play. Malik Beasley is a guy that I'm looking at, with or without Edwards. 6,300, his price tag's starting to jump up a little bit, and more so representing of where it should be right now. But I still think there's some meat left on the bone, especially in this cakewalk of a matchup against this Lakers D. Beverly always goes extra hard against Westbrook, so he's going to have that motivation regardless. But with no Edwards, 5'4", he's going to be running, primarily being the facilitator on offense. So, yeah, I do like that when he's in that particular role. He's very fantasy friendly, especially in a matchup. Again, Swiss cheese defense. The center position is weird. We don't have Towns, but everybody's been splitting. Naz Reid came back, but hasn't really ran away with it yet. Greg Monroe's playing great. Nathan Knight playing great. They're all playing center minutes, and then you have Vanderbilt there. McDaniel's taking some power forward minutes. It's kind of jumbled right now, and I don't really want to go attack the front court. I'm just going to stay with Beasley and Beverly and see what happens with Edwards, though I'm not going to play him. But that'll influence my decision on if I want to go there a little bit more. On the other side of the ball, LeBron James, just let it ride. It's like you're at the casino. You're winning. Hit black 3 times in a row. You know what? Let it ride one more time, because this guy is on fire right now. This team isn't good right now. And I don't know if they will get good, but LeBron James he's 37 years old. It's insane. But I don't care if he's 12K. Play him again. I can see another 70 points. They're playing against a weak team anyway, with 2 of their best players out. So LeBron James, let it ride. Anyone else? I think there's some decent value to be found, possibly. Malik Monk still isn't crazily high. Carmelo Anthony isn't crazily high. Trevor Ariza isn't crazily high. Austin Reeves, I don't really want to go that far, but Monk and Melo still aren't crazy high. Probably won't go there, but I may do a double take because they do have some upside. But Westbrook, if you really don't want to go LeBron, Westbrook's going to hit value anyway. Also, just a cheaper play if you don't have the money for LeBron. So I'm pretty much just going to stick to the stars here, but Melo and Malik Monk are decent. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Before we go, I can break down my favorite player tiers here, I guess. The most expensive player My favorite play of the night, that from the expensive crew, LeBron James again. I know he's already 12K, but the guy's just in a groove right now. I can see another 70 points. It's insane. 37, and he's still doing this. But yep, I think it's fine to stay right at the top here. We do have a lot of value around the slate, so it's nice to do that. All right, my favorite mid-tier play of the night. Maybe not so much for the upside. It could be one of those guys in Charlotte for upside if Bridges misses, but Yurtsevin, 6,500. He's just super safe right now. 3 straight games of over 36 fantasy points. Nothing flashy. He doesn't have 50-point upside, or maybe not even 45, maybe not even 40. But I'll take another 38-point game, 36-point game from the guy. It's just been really, really good. I'll continue to take that nice value from him as the last man standing in the front court for Miami right now. All right, and my favorite value play, I think there's a few of them to go around, but I'm going to go with a very cheapish guy still. Aaron Wiggins, 4,100. I think that's a really solid price tag. We'll see if anything else changes on other people's availability or whatnot. But Aaron Wiggins at 4,100 with no shy. Yes, I like that a lot. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Another edition of DFS Today, our second 2022 edition. We are on Sunday, the first weekend of the new year. Glad to close it out with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And let's continue to get after it. Peace.